Yo, what's up, guys? XRP Ninja is back for a live session. Let's go get some charts. Give me your favorite altcoins, and I will make an overview of the charts to give you a potential idea where to reaccumulate for the next, let's say, bull cycle that will come. For now, everything is like a little bit choppy. The market is uncertain right now since we had the ETF launch. Everything started to panic once it dumped. So from that point on, not really a lot happened in the markets. I had some requests from people to have an overview of the XRP BTC chart, Ethereum BTC chart, which I will cover in a few. But I wanted to dedicate this stream really to understand which altcoins you are looking for to buy, so we can together, maybe you are aiming for a project I never heard of, and second of all, where do you want to buy the project? And a lot of people don't really know how to find some accumulation levels. They trade more fundamentally or base their investments on news and momentum and narrative, but they don't usually know where to buy. So this is why I'm live. I mean, in the Bitcoin charts, almost the same. It's almost everything stayed the same. We are still in a bearish structure. We broke structure to the downside. Could have been the low for right now. Here, that imbalance, it completely closed that imbalance before coming back up. But nonetheless, it doesn't really mean we're gonna continue to the upside. The moment I would say I start to be interested in longs again, or that we can go further up with some kind of conviction, is after we break 45.6. Why after we break 45.6? Because here obviously we had the FTX launch during that day. So the market opened, and basically here during the evening, the day before, they already talked about it would be launched the day after, so it became some kind of volatile. But I said to people, you should not forget where we are in the market, that there are very important fair value gaps that needed to be closed. And when a fair value gap occurs and the market reaches that fair value gap, it is often just to, you need to look for, what you need to look for is if we can break that imbalance with candle close, which in this case we didn't. So we just took out these highs here, and you need to think about how long these positions were in the market. So there were longs obviously, but there were more shorts than longs. So in this case, you can see that once we closed that imbalance, we started this choppy move, and even with the long awaited ETF approval, it just spiked up quickly, took that liquidity out and came back down. So for now, neither upside or downside is guaranteed. What does the MACD says? Yeah, so the MACD now tries to cross in the weekly, and in the daily it looks like it tries to get up again. We have the bullish cross in the daily, so for now it doesn't look that bad. But as you can see here, if we go in lower time frames, we had some liquidity laying here on the top, and we just took it. at 30 past 2 my time. So this is also around about where the stock market opened. And as you can see, we don't just have a dump here on the Bitcoin price, but we also can see it on the index charts. They started moving before Bitcoin. So because I'm a day trader, I'm looking at these charts, and we had some huge selling volume when the market opened. As you can see here, the market opened. Here around the market opened and immediately crashed. So this is also why all the risk-on assets are a little bit dumping right now. Nothing too aggressive, nothing to really fear. I know people now expect Bitcoin to go back down to... Wait, I'm gonna clear this whole chart here. When was it? Yeah, so basically this is, for me, now the worst case scenario before we go into the bull is closing all these imbalances here, which would be, from the top we created a harsh 40 to 50%, or let's say 40 to 45% down move in Bitcoin, which would be really, really hard for altcoins. As we all know, once Bitcoin goes down and has a lot of dominance, as you can see here in the chart, still at 52% dominance, that would actually mean that the altcoins gonna bleed if Bitcoin starts to dump harder than what we saw now. So there's still some room to go up. We would really need to break this zone here, so that at least we could target this high and maybe push into the 50s. But I'm starting to think that maybe there is a chance we are not going to see the same corrections as in the other cycle. So what's the difference between this bottom price action creation and this one? Is that here we had a much bigger impulse. So this means an impulse because there are no real corrections. This is all, it's all basically one move, okay? So you didn't got really any opportunity to start buying in this pump. Obviously, when nobody that wants to buy something gets the opportunity to buy it, prices come back down because people want to accumulate. And as you can see here, even with the crazy crash we had during the COVID dump, we never closed below that imbalance. We even just swept into it and closed above, stayed above for a few days, and then started the bull run. So for me, when I say bull run, it is always after the local or after the bear market bottom has been created. So since we created the bottom here, obviously we are in a bull run. And what I see here is one big imbalance that actually looks like the imbalance we had here, just a little bit higher in the price or in the chart when it comes to price action. So we had this long awaited break back above these lows here, which we did 2 times, rejected back down, and then pumped. And this was basically the most bearish pattern I saw during the whole structure, from bear to back to bull. So here in that movement, I was a little bit concerned that it will not continue rising. But as we know, yeah, it just pumped, and then the last chance for me was closing this imbalance here. maybe take a liquidity sweep, because we directly had also an imbalance here. So this was a very, very, very strong resistance zone, these two imbalances with that high here. And as you can see, everybody bought here, 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 and now they are stuck. So they don't know, is Bitcoin gonna come down to 25k, or is it gonna continue? So I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin, but I use it as an indicator because it has very high dominance right now. And if Bitcoin goes down, the whole market goes down. There are maybe just a few altcoins that are going to perform when the rest of the space is going down. So the lucky ones will catch that altcoins, but the majority of people will start really to panic if Bitcoin would just now take a liquidity grab, and then in one weekly candle, it would come back down to these prices. Once that happens, people that came in this move, which probably is the first time they are in the market, because nobody starts to buy once we break into a bull. Let's say the smart money lies here at the bottom. Okay, maybe also even here. But once we broke out here, these are basically retail traders, first-time investors, etc., etc., people that waited for the space to be legit officially. So now the ETF is there, Bitcoin is legit, crypto is legit, let's go in. So these are the people that came here into the market. On the other side, I talked a lot about that I believe that the whole price action we did from 15k on were basically the institutions and not retail. Because first of all, Bitcoin is getting really, really, the weight is getting more and more, the liquidity is getting higher, the volume's getting higher, the market cap is getting bigger, so we need a lot more money to move it today. And I just don't believe that retail is ready to conquer, as they always said, like Bitcoin is the exit of the rat race, we are going against the banks. Now where banks are in the market, people start to realize that we retail don't have enough economic power to move the market whatsoever, you know. So we really need to understand, what do the big players want? And there are two particular interesting narratives that I'm playing with. One is that because the institutions pump the price higher, there's an idea of pricing out retail. So they have enough money to just push the price as high as they want. The question is, how many retail is in the market to liquidate or to make them capitalize and sell? If there isn't a lot, percentage-wise, I don't talk about how many people, just percentage-wise compared to other ones. I mean, a lot more wallets have been created in the bear market, etc. But I feel like retail is more involved in altcoins this cycle for now than they are involved in Bitcoin. Because during the cycles, people realized that the real or the big money you can make is not in Bitcoin, but is in altcoins. I mean, Bitcoin already run like 70 million %. So now the first time you're in the market, you want to buy Bitcoin and hope it's gonna make 5 or 10x. After it ran already 70 million %. So this is what you need to know. I mean, can it go to 100, 200, 300k this cycle? Yes, it can. That's not the thing. But if you buy now and it goes to 150k, you make a 3x, 4x maybe. So is that worth your money? I mean, if we would see, let's say even as a lot of people say, we go back to 10k, would it be interesting for you to risk 75% of your money to potentially make 300%. In my opinion, it doesn't really make sense. And that's why I always tell people, when the market comes down and everybody talks shit about it and everybody is screaming, you should start to accumulate. I know a lot of people didn't, which is not, it's not bad, okay? It's just that for the next cycle, you really need to remember that here is the time to buy when we break major structure. If you would have accumulated along these few months here, you would now already be at a 2 or 3x. So to hope that now a 3x is coming is just hopeful thinking. The only way you really are able for the next, let's say, 1.5 years to accumulate and lay back your head and don't worry too much is when you wait for the capitulation to happen, to wait for that correction to come. Because honestly, the chance is higher right now that we go down than that we go up. And if we go up, how high can it go temporarily is the question. Hey, nice to be here on the live. Is it the first time you are here, or what's your name? Mr. Felton, M. Felton, Mrs. Felton. Yeah, so basically what I want to do today is not talk too much about what I see in the markets and how it's going to work out, but I intended, my idea was that people come in the chat. I mean, those who are in crypto have some kind of altcoins they like, but they maybe don't really know where to start accumulating back again, because Bitcoin is in the range it is. Let's see, since 4th of December, we are basically at the same price. So almost 2 months now where we are trading sideways. Oh, great. Where are you from? Where are you from, my friend? I'm always happy. Where, I have a question. Where did you saw my life? Just to know where the traffic is coming from and from where people see my channel. Is it from social media, from X? Is it from YouTube? Yeah, where did you saw my stream? And I also love when people interact, because this is basically why I do these lives. Otherwise, I just could do videos, push out videos as all the other YouTubers, because I get a lot more views and interactions on videos than I get on my live streams. But I really want to create this feeling for people that they can come to my live, have some questions where they don't know the answer, maybe which coins to buy, or your favorite coin, where can I buy it next without getting rocked or something. So this is why I love interaction. This is why I do the lives. Yes, you will be surprised. I'm actually from South Africa. Oh, that's great, South Africa. I believe you are the first one from South Africa. The majority of my audience, let's say 55 to 65% of my audience comes from the USA. And then the rest comes from Canada, Australia, and Europe. I personally live in Luxembourg, but I started the channel with a friend back then, and his audience was, from the most part, from the USA, and I believe this is also why my channel is giving more traffic to English-speaking people. I definitely have some question. It's nice to be here where it's so quiet, so that I can actually... Yes, let's go. Give me your first question. Let's do this. I mean, for now, there were already 20 people in. Nobody ask questions. So I will do this for you, man. I will do this for you. Very little are interested in it. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that they are not interested in it? Do you think the media and the marketing they are doing is going against it? Or is it just because they don't know how to, let's say, a lot of people, for me, it should be the opposite. It should be South Africa and Africa to be one of the leading movements in crypto, because it's the first time, even if you don't have a bank account, to put your economic power into the market. So I don't really get it. So my first question is, what is your macro view or opinion on XRP? My macro view is that it's gonna be some kind of standard for the banks when it comes to messaging. Obviously, we all know it's gonna be used for cross-border settlements. So I believe the biggest thing that people don't realize yet is that, first of all, at the beginning, it was the narrative of the Internet of Value. Then it was cross-border payments, then ODL, on-demand liquidity. But now we have some different type of markets they are aiming also, like the derivative markets. So really getting closer to tokenization of real-world assets, which is also one of the biggest narratives for this bull run. So in the last two bull runs, the narrative was DeFi, metaverse, and basically smart contracts like Ethereum, Solana. So this time around, I believe the real world adoption of assets and tokenization of assets will be at the forefront of this bull run. This is also why every token that didn't or that does not participate in that manner started to pump before it actually happens, because they want people to invest in numbers and not in the future. So they make investments attractive to price volatility, but they don't really advertise real world utilities. The only few companies that do are still they don't have performed yet. For example, HBAR. For example, XTC. For example, XRP. For example, Quant. All these, for example, PIF. I mean, PIF, it's like, it's early, but Ripple is aiming at doing all those things and not just one aspect. Yeah, it is. And the biggest market, which I talked about last time in my life, a week ago, I showed that the ISDA, which is the leading trade association and swap commission for derivatives, and derivatives, the national value of it is like $600 trillion. So $600 trillion are laying there, not being moved as quickly and as efficiently as they could. So Ripple is now, I can show you this. Ripple and the Black Rock. Oops. It's now the second time that I'm showing this, but look, it's from August 5th, 2023, so it's not something that happened in 2019, which people now are shilling, you know? It's something that happened just the last quarter of last year. Ripple joins BlackRock and JP Morgan as member of the leading trade association. And those who know what that is basically, it's the biggest it's the biggest market in the economy. So derivatives are basically a smart contract of a real world asset, or even just all different kinds of stuff. So you can basically make a derivative of gold, you can make a derivative of companies, or everything. So it's basically the futures market. Or the futures market is also categorized in the derivatives market. Look, all the world's money 2022. There is just not yet the data from 23, but this will give you an idea. It's also the second time that I'm showing this, but I mean, there are always new people coming, so yeah. I mean, here you see the derivative market has a value of $12.4 trillion, but this is like the market value, basically, according to BIS. But the national value, everything combined together, has $600 trillion market cap. And this is what Ripple is aiming for when it comes to tokenization of assets. Will it be the only one? I don't matter if they are the only one or not, but what is sure, they are the first ones, which is publicly shown that they are. For example, which is the best performer in this bull run? It is Solana. What did they do for the real world? Nothing. The only thing why people love it is because there are cheap transaction fees, because it's a little bit more scalable than Ethereum. But on the other side, the chain crashed 4 times in the last bull run when there was a lot of volatility. So there are some pros and some cons when it comes to Solana. That chart is absolutely insane without the money. Yes, I mean, it's gonna play a big role. It's undeniable. It's undeniable that it's gonna play a big role. The problem is that people start to really question if it's gonna happen one day, or if it, as they say, XRP is a stable coin whatsoever, which it almost feels like. But I mean, on the charts, everybody that knows a little bit of technical analysis and technicals and price action knows exactly that we are just at the doorstep of the second biggest bull run for XRP. So it's just patience, basically. The first time I invested in XRP was back here at the lows. So I'm also accumulating since a long time. Obviously, I also invested in other coins and make my money there. But I am a big believer in XRP. Really. Like, I mean, I always said, if there is someone that can give me a company or a crypto project that is as fundamentally anchored as XRP, I will change my bias. I will buy it, and I will liquidate the half of my XRP wallets to buy that coin. And until now, nobody has ever challenged me to think otherwise. I mean, people have all these assumptions, but they don't. The most people that talk about the price of XRP are not even in crypto since the whole cycle. So the majority of people didn't even know 3 years ago that crypto exists. But now they are the biggest chillers and those who understand everything. I'm here since 2015. And as you see, since 2015, unluckily, I was not in XRP back then. But yeah, I mean, if you are in crypto since 2016 and you bought XRP, you are still up so much that you don't really care what it did in the last cycle. But what I can tell you now is that when I take everything away here, it's always the same, but it's basically everything you need to know on the long term, you know. So we have the same market movements than before. Okay, so maybe it's going to be a little bit lower whatsoever. So right now we are seeing exactly the same price action as back then. So the price came from even lower. So this is not where the price started to trade. It came from lower. So people in the same as now, people said XRP is a stable coin. XRP will never pass 1 penny again, will never pass 3 pennies again. And look, it just pumped from 0.1 cents or from a half a cent to 350, which also was like, this was Korea pushing the price higher on XRP. They just FOMO'd the price. They just FOMO'd in crazy, you know. So the last pump here was Korea pushing the price, and then basically in this pump, XRP took the place from Ethereum and Bitcoin. It even was the first. It even once was the number one in the rankings, just in this pump here. So from that point on, the Ethereum maxis and Bitcoin maxis started to really talk shit about it, and it's the banker's coin, and we are in crypto, and the bank should not control the space. And these same people that talked shit about it a few years ago, that it is used by the banks, blah blah blah, are now the guys that really hoped that the ETF is going to be launched and that Bitcoin is going to be traded by banks and owned by banks. Why now is it okay for them? Just because their bags are going to go up too. So when that was not the case, they spit it on the banks. Now they want the banks to buy their coin so they make money. And they don't care about the system anymore. They just want their coins to go up. And this is where we are today. So this is a perfect moment to lead people into shit projects, rock them, and bring the real world assets and make them thrive, you know? And this is why I didn't change yet my bias on XRP, because the time will come. The real question is, are you gonna be still there when it happens, you know? Because with everything it does, it just makes sense that when the price action is flat as it is, and every other shit project is doing crazy gains, what are they intending to do, and why are they holding the price down? It is not because there are 100 billion coins of it or whatsoever. This is all what people have in their head, but it isn't true. You know, there are maybe 9 billion to 10 billion XRP in circulation, okay? The rest is in wallets, is in escrow, and held by major banks, major players, you know? So there is not that much XRP available as a supply to buy right now in order books. So do you have price targets on some technical things soon? We might between $7 and $27 short-term bull run. I mean, these targets, obviously, we are gonna go there one day, you know. If it's $5, if it's $15, I can show you what, for example, Fibonacci is telling you. I will not say it's going to go to $7 or it's going to go to 15, because nobody knows. It also can just run to $100, or it also just can go to $3 and then go into a bear market again. So you need to compare price movement with timelines. You cannot just use price movements. You need to use timelines. For example, I will show you that after in Bitcoin, but only if you take the simple, let's say, extension tools and look what it did last, or in 2017, we had the same lower high as we created here. So we had the bull run high, bear market, as here we had the bull run high, bear market, lower high, and then pain in the ass, a long sideways consolidation until we then skyrocketed. But let's say for this bull run, or for even that bull run, was the top, let's say it was 40 cents, okay? So if we would take the same move as we did from here, and we take it from this, or from last cycle, you will get a target of 29 bucks. So if you ask me, is it possible to reach that prices? Of course it is. I mean, this is the longest suppressed token in crypto, and it's the most utility. There is no token out there that is working more in the real world than XRP and Ripple, because both have not really something to do with one another. They just own a lot of XRP, as Exxon owns a lot of oil, but they are not the oil. So it's just a product. It's just something they own, they bought, or maybe the developer said, yes, we need you, Ripple, as a company to bring the product we created to the banks. And then since, the first huge bull run we had, we are now 2,226 days where we are not breaking the highs. I mean, those who were in XRP, they are not in XRP anymore. Just like a little percent of all the people that were once in XRP are still in XRP. The rest of the crypto space is today in, airdrops, new layer ones, and they don't even know if they are gonna thrive in the bull run, but they assume because everything goes up in a bull run. So they base just their investments on what potential price action something could have, but it's not backing something with evidence. It's basically just someone wanting to give more for a token that you would give. So you buy a token, let's say you buy XRP at 30 cents, and we are at $3 at all-time high. So there will be a guy that is telling himself, I mean, it's like 2,200 days that we didn't broke the all-time highs. Now we are at all-time highs. We're going to skyrocket to $100. And he will buy your tokens, for example. Without him buying your tokens, we cannot sell with a profit. So if you are early enough, because when it happens, it will be too late. It's going to go up so quick, even with Bitcoin and all these other things. Once it really decides to go, you will not be quick enough to capitalize and have a great entry. This is why you never buy when something goes up. The problem is the first time you come into the market, it is often the moment where it goes up, because you heard it from someone, you saw it in the news, you saw it on social media, people are talking about it. People are not talking about it when it goes down and it loses 80% of its value. So this is when you need to buy. When people shit on it, when they say crypto is bullshit, crypto is going to zero. This is when you say, thank you that you said that, I'm gonna buy today, And when people that never believed in crypto, for example in South Africa, you have now XRP, and XRP runs to $10-15. And your friends are gonna come to you and say, I also bought XRP at $8. How high do you think it's gonna go? Do you think I heard it's gonna go to $30. This is the moment you need really to think about to start selling your coins, I experienced this now 2 times. I didn't really played it as good as I could have played it, but I mean, everyone is learning. I'm young. I just turned 28, so I have my whole life in front of me. And I mean, I'm in this space since a long time. I'm trading since a long time. Nothing really changed. It's just when you see something that happened, let's say last cycle, It is how strongly are you convicted that it's going to happen again in that same manner. And once you do that 2 or 3 cycles, you will be convinced that it worked because it worked all these other times, you know? So you need the experience to really, really capitalize on it if you don't want to play it with luck. I mean, you can have luck. And I want everyone to have luck in their own experience, you know? Why shouldn't I? But I also know that in most cases it will never happen for them, you know? So it's better you stay true and you say the truth than bringing people in something. For example, all these big channels that shill projects they don't even like and they don't even really believe in. It's just covering a narrative, and they use the momentum of their audience to make some gains. As Alex Becker, as Crypto Banter, as all these channels, you know? So to really have good content in crypto, you need to start following smaller YouTubers. YouTubers that have, let's say, between 1,000 and 15, 20,000 followers. Once they breach 100, 150, 200k followers, they use you for the money. They don't care about one single sub, about one guy that maybe is going to get wrecked, you know, because they always have enough people backing their thesis. For example, I say XRP is tomorrow going to $10, okay? Then it goes to 20 cents. 80% of my audience will lose money, but these 20% are gonna will make money, and I will use these 20% to show people how great my call was, you know? You sound like you will be holding bags. Holding bags, lol. I mean, I certainly am holding bags since over 6 years, yes. Of course. I mean, the guys that got rich with Bitcoin also thought like that, and that's the reason they have more money today than you, maybe, you know? I mean, in my whole crypto career, I at least took an 80x with me. So show me a market that provides you this, you know? So everybody can think whatever he wants. I was just covering the XRP chart for Mr. Felton because I also believe that he sees the truth, because it's the first project he asked me about. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, I mean, a small bag, a big bag, who cares, you know? I'm in the top 1% in the world when it comes to XRP bags. So everyone that is talking and is laughing, we will see who laughs the last. Yeah, but the thing is, you come into my chat, you say something about me, as you think what I'm gonna do, then you're giving me a scenario that people waiting for $16 plus and not even gonna sell. I mean, where do you think these ideas from? You know, it's just like, I don't know. You're too much on social media, I believe. I mean, if you own, let's say, even 5% of the biggest wallets in XRP, I don't need an XRP at 15 or $30. I just don't need it. I'm for me it can go to $3 to $5. I will make a lot of money, you know? So I don't really care where it is going. I play accordingly to what timelines tell me, you know? So look, timelines. I will show you something. But man, bro, you should not care, you know? You should not care how big your bags are. You should be really happy about that you can participate in that market, you know? So everyone starts with nothing and comes to something. It's just about what you believe you can achieve in your lifetime, what you can achieve in the next 2-3 cycles, you know? Even if there are diminishing returns, your capital will grow, so you don't need that 100x anymore. And all these people that shill this bullshit in your ears, don't listen to them. These are broke people. They don't know nothing, you know. So, yeah. I mean, we are waiting since a long time for XRP to do what it's intended to do, but it's okay, you know. We have time, we are young, and we have a life in front of us. Imagine your father would have bought Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, WhatsApp, any of these companies and projects in the past. We all would be rich. So start to be the first one thinking differently in life. Taking some risk, you know? Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm trying to hit the 700 subs. So let's see. Do you hold your XRP in a cold wallet? I hold in 4 or 5 different places. I have a decent wallet. I have a ledger. I have 2 different exchanges. So let's say two-third of my XRP are in cold wallets, but I still hold like a third on exchanges because you never know what's going to happen. And I don't want to, let's say, stress myself out to take some little profits off the table if needed, you know? So if tomorrow, for example, I wake up and XRP is at $10, I will directly be able to log into my phone and sell some, you know? And for the rest, I hold them in my cold storage, obviously, yeah. Why are you asking? PP9 7 Life. Is it the first time you are in my chat? I never saw your name before. Today I saw a lot of people coming into the chat that I never saw before. So that's great. And if it's the first time you are in the chat, I will say now 97 live. Is it the first time you are here? And if yes, where did you saw my live? Was it a Facebook, a YouTube recommendation? Was it on X? Where did you find me? Just, yeah, out of curiosity. Let's say, because timelines are real in this market, people don't really pay attention to it, you know? But they are real, the timelines. And once you really believe that they are real, you will see the truth, because it never changed, basically. So, taking the last 3 bull runs. This is from, yeah, Bitcoin already had a cycle before this. But let's just take these 3 cycles, okay? So, now we are looking, how long did it take for the bear market, the bull run top to the bear market low? In this case, we had the low here. It are in weeks. Normally, it's like a little bit less, but let's say 406 days, okay? Then we had, from the bottom to the top, we had 1064 days bull run from bottom to top. Then next bear market, how long did it take? It take from top to bottom, it took 364 days, so a whole year, even less than the bear market before. Okay, then next bull run, how long did it take from bear market low to bull run top? Again, it took the same amount of time than before, okay? Look, 1000, let's say 60 days, because the bottom was the week before, but yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like 1060 days, 1064 days, 400 days, 365 days. Now, how long did this bear market last? This bear market last 364 days, the same as before. So, which created the bottom was the FTX crash. This was the Luna crash, and this was the FTX crash. And honestly, I explained this multiple times. For me, the bull run or the bottom was when we broke that descending wedge to the upside, breaking these highs. And I also called it on Twitter. I can show you this, for example, because it's easy to say I called it or I this or I that, but look, this is, your opinion does not matter. Fractals do. And here you can see 426 days, 365 days, 426 days, because it's the monthly chart. So it's a little bit a difference between the monthly and the weekly when you take the vertical lines. So, but you get the point. It's always 1065 days, and I anticipate the longest run we're gonna have is again this 1065 days. After this 1065 days, we're gonna see the bear market. So if now XRP, let's say at that timeline will be at $5, I need to sell it. You understand? So it's more about price action and timeline combined than just the price action, than just waiting for a certain target to be hit. It's more important to combine it with a cycle timeline, you know, and then it will be most likely reachable to sell the top, you know. Since inverse, yes, it is, yes, exactly. So here you can see I posted it on January 13, 2023. And the line was on 1st January 2023. Since then, I was bullish. And believe me, people just spit it in my face, you know, as usual. Like all my friends from my childhood, I wanted to take them with me on the journey. I wanted to show them the opportunity of life we have. And they all laughed at me, you know, for 3 or 4 years. And then they started to accumulate the top of last bull run, you know. And I said to a friend, now where every one of you is coming to me, how high do you think Dogecoin is gonna go when it was at 5 cents? I was like, now rationally I need to sell my coins. And if I would have sold everything that day, I would have had a great exit, you know? So this is really why you need to listen to people. If 10 people come in my stream and say, XRP is a stable coin, it's never go to $1, I accumulate even more. Because the prices are never going there where the masses think it's gonna go, you know? So this is how I place my bias. So let's say we have these 1065 days of bull run in front since the bottom. Let's say 64 days. So we already did almost half of the bull run, okay? And we didn't had our hyperbolic phase. So as you can see, almost, let's say 530. Yeah, let's say here is, yeah, half of the bull run is almost already gone, you know. I was asking because I want to minimize risk in case the markets are not available because whatsoever, or if you want to convert XRP to, it's not available. I don't really get you, man. I was asking. Ah, so you mean the moment you want to sell your coins, that you cannot sell them in USDT? Because it would not be available to trade in USDT, or what do you mean? Because even if that would happen, there is not just USDT, there is not just USDC, there is also DAI, there is also the real dollar and euro, which will always be there, you know? So, or always, you know what I mean? And for example, the the real benefit of holding coins longer is that you are tax-free. Listen, guys, I am tax-free on all of my investments from last bull run. And I am in profit, you know? So I never went into drawdown in this bear market. This is what people don't know. You know, I didn't really sold what I should have sold on the top. But I never went into drawdown because I bought XRP, for example. I bought after the 70% dump of the SEC lawsuit, and I accumulated between 17 and 21 cents. So I was never down on my XRP investment. It was just frustrating, as everybody knows, you know. It's not, everybody knows it. It's a frustrating price action. But you should hold in your mind what you understand. I don't invest in things I don't understand, you know. And XRP is one of, look, now XRP has sidechain, EVM enabled sidechains to have smart contracts enabled, you know. So now the power of scalability and liquidity of XRP combined with enabling smart contracts is just huge, you know. But people don't care anymore because what they thought would happen or what they anticipated last bull run did not happen, and now they are angry about it, you know. Now I think even in Luxembourg now it's like 12 months. It was 6 months, but I think crypto is 12 months, and I hold the majority of my coins over 12 months. And those who I bought at the bottom are now over 6 months too. So if it's 6 months, I would be on every single coin I have, I would be tax free. So and that's great, because imagine I would have sold during the bear market even a little bit lower and reaccumulated. Now let's say when it pumped, sorry, when it pumped. What was it, 6 months ago, before it had this huge 100% pump in a day, I would not be tax-free right now. So if tomorrow the price skyrockets and I would need to sell, I would give back 40% in taxes. And this is what I don't want. So now I'm tax-free. So wherever the price goes, I can just take the power out, the economic power. I just can't take profits, you know. And then in these times, I want to create a bigger community, trading community, building the YouTube, building the Discord, and then going into the next bull run and flourishing with the community. This is my goal for crypto, because I believe it's lonely at the top and everybody knows this, and having a community that flourishes together with people like you that are here now in the beginning is an awesome thing, you know. Yeah, Luxembourg is basically non-existent if you don't zoom in. If you want to know, we have like 750,000 people here in Luxembourg. So, yeah, one of the smallest countries. I mean, I really like and appreciate to live here, but people are very small-minded. Like, they don't want to take any risk. I mean, there is always a minority that is able to, but in the grand scheme of things, like, you live so good here, or let's say the normal jobs you get here are so well paid that you can live when you are two people. Let's say you and your girlfriend, and you live here and have a normal job and you make 3-4K a month each. You can live a good life. So people are not that ambitious here. And those who are, they know each other. We all know each other, you know. Creo, let's see. This is why I did the live, because I wanted people to give me some coins they like. What is this? Creo. Creo SDT. Is this a Creo engine? Maxi. Oh shit. That looks great. How much is that? Wow. Okay. Crazy. Wow. I hope you didn't were in this whole time sold and then it pumped. Because look, this is the pain of crypto, you know. If you are not enduring, let's say, 90, let's say it was even an airdrop or you accumulated when it came out, you know, your portfolio or your investment just bleeded out until almost zero, you know. So, but if you hold through, now you're a little bit over break even. Those who bought in back here surely were the insiders, you know. So I don't know nothing about this project. Now what do I do? CoinGecko. I don't know what they do. Nothing. I never heard of this project. ClearEngine. Oh, it's a Binance. It's a Binance chain project. Yeah, because for example, in the metaverse gaming, I last bull run, it was all like BSC chain projects or paper hands and stuff, and that you should look for projects on the Ethereum network. But this time around, I heard something different. I heard that the great also metaverse projects and stuff are all launched on BSC. So what do they do? Let's see. Oh, metaverse. Oh, it is a metaverse project. That's interesting. Connect words with your engine, the next level Web3 gaming ecosystem. We connect gamers and developers in one size fits all web, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here, play. Fun and beneficial Web3 games to choose from and tools to give you total ownership over your digital assets. StarVex, where digital entertainment meets NFTs, a new way to connect both artists and fans together. That's great. That's great. Do you know already if there is an influencer or someone that we all know that is aware of this project? Our native token used for all activities across the engine. Okay. So this is the token you use to basically use their platform. Okay, enhance your Web3 gaming with programmatic and secure functions, total governance. Here's a stay update about games. Okay, so this is to get the information of things that are gonna be launched. So you're always, let's say, the insider. Transparency is widely used for variation activities done on the platform. It means okay. A keen focus on strategies that drive continual expansion and cross-collaborative endeavors. I think he looked a little bit too much Andrew Tate videos. Because I almost never heard that word before Andrew Tate was going viral. Between players and community, do you welcome our game was okay. So without even looking further, are there games already being played? I would assume not. And if yes, that would be great. Explore the Web3 gaming world with Cleo. So South Africa just has too many people in poverty and middle class who are entitled and think they are rich, so most people won't try crypto or look into. Yeah. But it gives you a great advantage if people don't, you know? So if you don't have a lot of economic power yourself, maybe try to find some rich people, sell them the opportunity, and if you make them money, they give you something, you know? Lol, I hear Andrew Tate gonna make his own. Nah, that was fake news. That was fake news. He said he would never create a coin. I think this is fake news. I can be wrong, but I think it's fake news. Yeah, I see. It's very early. But our partners, okay. Okay, I don't really know. Phantom Starter. Okay, this is a launchpad on Phantom, I assume. Okay, so this is their, I want to say DEX, which is not really a DEX, but here you can connect your wallet to use their product, I assume. Adventure, RPG, NFTs. Visit game page. Look, the problem with these things, with these like child games, is that no child is using blockchain. Like they are gonna go to Walmart buy their PlayStation game. They will not look into something like that, you know. So if the graphics are as shown here, it would be great. But yeah, there is not. I would need to really know who looks after this project, you know, and who is interested in it, because I didn't really heard someone talk about it. Do you have maybe someone that is shilling this project, where I maybe can see their mindset, why they think it's a great project? I mean, it's early. If you are in and it goes like this into a bull run, you're gonna make a lot of money if you went in at these prices, you know. But since we reached, look, the problem here is that there were just a few buyers here, and then you had volume declining. So the biggest volume came through selling. So there were not a lot tokens left to sell from, let's say, the weekends. And once that happened, it started. So I believe the biggest buys that happened in this project is around here. Look, the rest is like not even half of the volume. Okay. So, and it's still at the top. So that's a great sign. Now, if I would go to regular, you can also see that it doesn't look as in the logarithmic chart. I use logarithmic charts to really see the whole price development, because for me, honestly, people that use charts like this, like, what do you want to see here? Like, there is nothing to see. It's just like, it makes no sense, you know. So let's see, where could it go down to? So we had this liquidity, this sweep high, sweep low. So now we're gonna sweep these lows here. We're gonna come and try to take that liquidity out, I believe. So most likely we will try to take this liquidity here, okay? And then once we took out that liquidity, it would have some chance, because we have here bullish price development, and here you can see that some people sold because of the pump, but it directly got bought up and went even higher. So this is a zone you need to look for. And then under this zone you have an imbalance. I don't know if that imbalance is going to be reached. I mean, it pumped extremely hard. It's hard to say how low it can come. But let's see, what does it have here? So our first big sequence, look, this sequence that was created back here at the top, So you had the top here, zack. Then you had the low here. This was the low at that time. So you had the low, you had the all-time high, and then you came back down, it corrected, and we broke structure to the downside at this level here, okay? So this is the first time you really had a confirmation that it's gonna go down, or try to get some correction in. And then here, now you can take the Fibonacci retracement tool and it would have given you this sell zone. And this is also why I take now my Fibonacci extension and try to see how strong was this, or how low can we go with the strength of this price action. And Fibonacci tells us, you look, imagine you have seen this, not because I'm telling this you now, but imagine you would have known this and you would have sold here. You would exactly know where to buy next or where to start accumulating next. So we had this low created here, let's say here. So the only moment you want to start buying again at good prices is under this baseline. And then you have here, we have imbalances. We have imbalances here, and we have in a higher time frame, I'm pretty sure this is an order block. So now, since that high we created, it told you that the sequence finish, the sequence target would be here, the 1.618. So with pretty high conviction, you could have, let's say, speculated on the price coming back to this zone here, which now it almost is, you know. And this is the only thing I can show you right now on price action and where it could go next. So look, once we break this high here, we are in bullish territory again. So once we break 8.2 cents, let's say, with candle close, with volume, we are back in bull mode. But most likely, we are going to try to get that liquidity and then break these lows, because look, how many people accumulated on that baseline here. So he is allowing a lot of liquidity. And the market always uses liquidity. It's more like, it's like a magnet, you know. So where is liquidity, the market tends to be pulled like a magnet to it, to take out that liquidity and change market structure. Sorry, I didn't read for a few minutes. Lol, or I thought it was real. ICP token, internet computer, I believe this is, or internet computing or whatsoever. Token might also be very well XRP. Yeah, I mean ICP, a lot of people talk about it. I personally don't own it, but yeah, I mean in the real bull run, in the hyperbolic phase, everything is going to go up. So if you buy at the right time, you will make money whatsoever, you know. There is, you know, almost everyone makes money in this market, but not everyone is able to sell the profits, because they think it's going to go 100% higher whatsoever, you know. So this is something you need really to be, when it happens again, not think that way. So now you also have the timeline that I showed you before. So to put in a big bag in this, I would at least wait for these levels here, or at least a break of these highs. And then also, since when did it push up? What was this? November. Okay, so okay. the problem is also if we would break that low here, and it would not just be a liquidity grab, we have some other sequences coming in bringing us lower. But don't focus on how low it can go. I mean, everything can happen, you know. Bitcoin can crash to 5,000, but the chances are not that high, you know. So I don't know how legit the project is, but price action wise, I would just wait for it to come. Let's say I would start to accumulate at 5 cents. Yeah, let's say 6 to 5 cents most early. Even now, it's not bad if you bought now. Just be aware that if it dumps, to buy more. Because if you don't buy more when it dumps, you need to wait. There is no chance. But I always say, if you're ready to buy more when it dumps, you create this opportunity to make a lot more money than if you wouldn't. Even if, let's say, you put in $1,000 here at 7 cents and it goes to 4 cents, you get almost for $1,000 double as much coins. So the price when it goes to the upside, you can also make 2 or 3 times more profits. So you should not care how fast you make money, but you should care how much you can accumulate of your favorite coin or the projects you believe in before it pumps. Time will tell. Potentially, I think it's too early for this project to say something. Jump to conclusion. No, I don't know anybody. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, look, the question you need to ask when you see a chart like this is, would I already have sold? Look, if you entered here at the bottom, would you sell these tokens now and take the money out and invest it, for example, in some other project, like, I don't know, whatever you like? If you would have bought the bottom, let's say even here in the correction, at a tenth of a penny, would you sell it now or would you hodl it? I would assume you would have already have sold a bunch of it. I would. I would have had sold a bunch of it, because how high is this? Look, like 13,000%. This is like 130x, a 200x, you know. So after a 200x, I would not directly really buy a coin, you know. It's just like a principle. I don't do that. So yeah, I would not really touch this, to be honest, in my opinion, for now. If tomorrow you see flash crash coming back down to these levels, then you can accumulate. But for now, I mean, there are so many great opportunities. Don't try to catch something that already did 100x, you know. Already 30 people were in the live since I started. But you see, people are coming to get answers they think they are not, they don't get somewhere else. So people's lives, their attention span is very, very low. And if they don't interact, I don't know that they are there. I don't know their interest. I don't know which coins they're holding. I don't know what their fear is. So if people don't interact, I can do nothing for them. You know, this is why these lives are here. Otherwise, I would just post videos with my own opinion, with my own projects. And, you know, for example, I would choose the XRP community because it's a big community, and alone this community would be enough for me to get over 10, 20, 30,000 views, you know, subs in the next months. So I don't know. I just want to do this for people, including for myself, because often when I show something to someone or I educate someone on price charts or technical analysis, I learn things by myself too. because sometimes you see things that you didn't saw yesterday and so on. So I really like to interact with the people on the chat. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. So do you have another altcoin that you're looking for? I have people that requested an Ethereum BTC chart analyze and an XRP BTC chart analyze. Let's try to do that. Yeah, even if I don't really know what people want to know about these charts. It's like, it's obvious. So now, I really thought that pump back then, that where we basically broke the 5-year trend line, I thought this was the bottom. Then it retested that trend line, and then we got that crazy pump, 100% in a day, and I really thought like, oh, this is it, you know. But it wasn't, as usual. So now, what do we have here? Obviously, before the last, in 2017, the bull run started, we were back, trading back below here. Then we had the 17 bull run, the top. This was basically the real top. Okay, this is when XRP was at $3. Since then, obviously down moves. We had this, whatever this is, this M pattern, reversal pattern, back to the trend line. This was in the bull run. Ah, yeah, okay. So this was the SEC case, the drop. And this was, look. Where is it? Here. So this formation here was the drop. So we had the drop here. We had the pump to this high. We had the drop of the SEC lawsuit. And then here you can see that it was this price action, which at that time I really shilled that price action and said to people, guys, I never saw a bullish pattern like this before, you know. And yeah, it happened. I wasn't lucky. I mean, it was like know-how and skill, but I was fortunate enough to sell XRP. Like, I bought here, okay, then I sold here, I bought back here, I sold here, I bought back here, and I never touched it again. Because my play was so good that I didn't trust myself to make the same great decisions over and over again, you know. So I tested my luck basically at that time. And yeah, if I would have sold at the top, I owned, yeah, I don't want to say the number, but I had a bunch of XRP back then, even more than I have today. But yeah, this was like also due to luck, you know, because I really sold and bought at the perfect price. VIP style. Listen, I give you my opinion on what you are saying. It sounds very smart, but if you are in this market for a certain period of time, you will know that you will never catch this drop. Like, every liquidation sweep to the downside could be that drop that you are talking about. So how do you want to know that this collapse is coming? Look, I show you something. You should not listen to the news, guys, because they just want to let you think something that will not happen, okay? This is how markets move. This is how liquidity is created. If you are not able to hold through such times, because imagine, you need to sell at the perfect time, okay? And you need to buy at the perfect time. And then you need to sell again at the perfect time. So you need to be right four times for one investment. And most of the people will never get this, you know, to be honest. Look, I will go to the SPX, for example. Zip everything away. By the way, I also called index bottom and so on and so on. You know, look, most of the people are waiting for this. Why? Because the mainstream media is projecting the fear on you that that we will see the biggest market crash in the history of whatever, you know. And this down moves here were a lot more scary than this. This was peanuts, okay? This is a quick drop, quick recovery. This wasn't. When you look at the time frame of suffering, this here you were suffering for 1 month, let's say 100 days, okay? And you were almost back break even if you bought the all-time high of the index. Then, because at that time I worked in an investment fund, and look, we were here, I believe. So the guy invested in a lot of TVX protection products. So I don't know if you know what that is, but it basically is when the market goes down 1%, this product pumps 2% to the upside. So, for example, you have your portfolio 100%, let's say, exposed to the SPX, and you realize that you are in dangerous times and you want to protect your downside. So what do? They buy TVX, for example. And he owned during this time, this guy owned 30% of his portfolio in protection products, okay? And I told the director, I was like, it makes no sense. So the dip already has happened. It can't just go up. And this is now the weekly. I cannot show the intern price action, but it literally showed you that it wants to go up higher. So once we broke that gap here, once we broke this, I told him, when was this? July, April. Okay, no, it was during, let's say, September that year. So let's go to September. Yeah, so he started accumulating these things, even going to the all-time high, and he was 1,000% convicted that the crash is gonna come, you know? And I told him that the chart doesn't look like it's gonna go even lower than it did, you know? So this was basically the COVID crash. And this was an event that never happened in the history before. And from that point on, it just skyrocketed higher and higher and higher and higher, okay? And so once, look, at this time here, nobody talked about a recession on the internet when we were here. You know when people started to talk about a recession? I will show you. So, look, here people were starting to talk about a recession. And I was like, okay, maybe, I don't really know, but let's see how it's going to play out, you know? And then I marked here my buying zone and I said, okay, the power we have right now is until this zone, from this price action on. So we had the 0, A, B, C. Zack. We let it run. So, now we fulfill the target. From that point on, what I was focusing on is a break of that trend line and a break of these highs here, which had an order block in it. So an order block is always where sellers or buyers aggressively came in and wanted the buyers to think it's going to go up so they have liquidity to push it down. So from that point on, I was like, okay, if we don't create a new low and we break the trend line to the upside, we are done with the recession. And then people like Elon Musk also said we're going to have a mild recession and a soft landing and not a hard recession with a hard landing. So I really anticipated this to happen. And as you see here, people were like, yeah, now we're going to take this high and then we're going to drop 40% in the indexes. Everything is going to crash and Powell is going to turn down or decline or no, what do I talk? Is going to put the interest rates down and we're going to have a pivot and stuff like that. And it just did not happen yet, you know, and it most likely will also not happen until at least March or April, you know. So now they make money. So why would they now crash the markets? I mean, America is in the biggest debt they ever have been. So their only way to maintain their economy is to push risk on assets higher, okay? Higher, print money and push the prices higher. So, XRP can work without internet. XRP Ninja, you are actually making sense right now. The media always lie. I haven't thought about the crash that way. Do you think we will just transition from legacy system to a new system? It will be overnight, man. This thing will happen overnight. It almost already happened. It's just that we are using price action and news as confirmation of something. Does not mean it did not already happen, you know? But as long as people don't see, let's say, an XRP at $15, they don't see the shift, you know? But the shift already happened. And that's the thing, you know? And it's just now patience. Who is gonna be able to be still in these projects that were meant to be for the new system? And now they push out all these shit coins, so people don't know what to buy, and they will always buy the momentum. Always. Look, Solana. Why do you think Solana pumped that hard? People don't know that FTX biggest holding was Solana, and they wanted to pay their customers back so he can dilute his how long he is in prison, you know? So what did they do? Their biggest holdings were Solana. And from nothing, Solana pumped. And then all the YouTube channels started shilling it and it pumped. So you could have not seen this. And I never was real a Solana fan because they have public keys. Not your keys, not your crypto. This is something you really need to hold in mind. If a project has public keys, they can erase your wallet. They can steal your coins. They can freeze your wallet. Okay? In a project like XRP, for example, I mean, there would be a way to do that. But imagine the hack, let's say, I believe it was false news with the hack of Chris Larsen, but let's say Chris Larsen got hacked for these 200 million XRP. Without tracking where the coins are and freezing those wallets, they would have dumped the price extremely hard. So they could prevent that, and they could prevent these losses for all the other rest of the space or the community, you know. So there are always good and bad pros and cons, let's say. So if you want to invest in DeFi, I would not invest in XRP. Even if it's decentralized, it's somehow going to be used for centralization. But if you want to clearly just be in a project because it is totally DeFi and nobody can take your coins, being hacked is extremely hard, nobody knows where you sent your money and all that stuff, there are not a lot of projects today that do this. You have Monero, you have Pirate Chain, and you have Verge, but these are all like coins you are not looking for to make a lot of money. These are coins you are you park your capital in to maybe avoid taxes or something, you know. But for example, why I love Hex, don't, even if you look at and it's down, okay, it's down bad, oh me, you know. But if you want to look at a real project that is real DeFi and is what crypto actually was meant to be, this is the best, one of the best projects you can be in, you know. Not regarding now price action. I believe price action and gains is also one of the best. But here you can stake decentralized with your own keys, with no middleman, delayed gratification. And as long as you don't put in 10 to 30 hours of research into this token, you will never understand it. And this is why people hate it. Because they didn't got rich in last bull run and now they are satisfied that the price is down so bad, but they didn't realize that we all got a copy. So it basically was a stock split. So instead of 100 million XRP or 100 billion XRP, now is a supply of 200 billion XRP and the price split it in half. But it does not mean that the price you see here got rigged and there was a rug pull. Because here it launched the project and the price action you see here, you now need to take the coins from the two chains, combine the price together and see how much you are in drawdown, you know. And I believe 60%, I am still here on my investment like 40 to 50% in drawdown, but I accumulated back at the low. So imagine now it goes from not even a penny to 10 cents. And you have like 3, 4, 5, 6, a million, 2 million of these coins, you know? It's gonna be a fucking party. This is what's gonna be. And people just don't see it. And people prefer, look, people prefer to buy a token that looks like this. And this is the truth, guys. If I would show you this trend here, or this chart, you would tell me, boy, this is gonna skyrocket, okay? But here is when people start entering a project. Look, it made 500% in the bear market to the upside. This is where people entered, and this was the buy the rumor, sell the news event of the Pulse Chain launch. As you had to buy the rumor, sell the news now with the ETF, you know. It's something different, but just saying, you know. So this push here came because they knew Pulse Chain is going to launch very soon. And after that, they just got obliterated, okay? So you need that exit liquidity. And then these were normal moves. This move here, these two moves already were the stock split. So normal, if something has now doubled the supply that it has before, the price need at least to split in half, you know. So it's not even down that bad as people think. And most people don't even look at this chart. They look, for example, at this chart. 1 second. Come on, man. What the fuck is this? No hex anymore. What is this? Maybe now it's... What is this? I had this chart open here before. What the fuck? So this is Jupiter. We're gonna do it that way now. So, look, there is the chart. Wow, it just appeared out of nowhere. So, let's go to logarithmic. So most people look at this chart here. And when you look at that chart, you say, okay, like the price launched here, we are at all-time lows. But if you look at the wheel chart, we are still up. So if you got the Hex airdrop back then, you are still up 180x on your investment. Okay, 180x still. What's up, buddy? Yeah, no problem. Great to see you here, my friend. How are you doing? People interacting today. That's great. We have now 9 people live together. I didn't even finish the sentence. One dropped, one left. But either way, we are 8 people in the live. I believe I'm really grateful for that. So, like, all the people that didn't wrote in the chat, what do you want me to make an analyze of? Which chart do you want me to make an overview? Which altcoins do you like? Write it in the chat and I will make a quick technical analyze for you. I was just talking about Hex because I believe when it really comes to decentralization and being your own custodian, this is one of the best projects. Not regarding now price action. I mean, if you buy something low, look, everybody will tell you this is shit, it's low, it's at the bottom, it's this and it's that. But if tomorrow we start coming up back again here, you will be the guy buying our profits, okay? So I waited a long time for a 3-cent Hex, and then it got the stock split. So now you get these prices again, which you got at the big payday back then. And this is where Bitcoin topped, okay? So after Bitcoin topped, Hex did 9,000%. There is no liquidity, guys. Look, this is what people trade. People trade liquidity and order books. They don't trade prices. They don't trade market caps. So what moves a price is defined by what is there liquid? What can I actually really buy right now? And for now, there are 1.2 million in sell and buying orders in liquidity. So if there now is someone buying, for example, for $1 million at this second, the price will at least do a 2x with just 1 million influx. And a coin that has such high market cap with such low liquidity just shows that there is product market fit, that there is a community. And I can tell you, these guys are fucking smart. Okay. Yeah, look, yeah, people are coming here to entertain themselves because now I asked them to put something in the chat and they leave. Maybe they never bought crypto or they fear to ask a question because they maybe think others think they are dumb, or I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, that's Hex, you know. When you want decentralization and being your own owner, this is the way to go. When you don't care about public keys, you buy Solana, Matic, and all these projects, and you should not cry if the day comes where the public keys are gonna be used and your wallets are drained, because there will be rocks in the future, 100%. Like for me, all these coins that are pumping and pumping and pumping without, look, for example, this, I never bought it. Like, come on. It ran up in 2-3 weeks. Those who are lucky made good money. Maybe they didn't even sold yet. So, but maybe this will outperform the market. I don't know. If there are a lot of degens, it can pump very high. But if you have now an investment fund and you have a client coming and you are trying to explain him the potential of this space, this will never be a project you are talking about when it comes to your clients. Why? You know it's bullshit. You know it's based on a fucking meme that was created on Twitter. Like, it does not mean there cannot be momentum and narrative, you know? And that's the big difference. You need to know what you want to trade. Narrative and momentum, you trade with a little bit of your money. Let's say 1, 2, 3% of your capital you have invested. Where you put your big money is where you really understand what it's gonna do and where it's gonna place itself in the new world. This is, let's say, a sure investment. Maybe it's not gonna, let's say for XRP, maybe it's not gonna go to $100. But if it's gonna go to, let's say, 5, 10, 15, $20, you did well, very, very, very well. And this is what we are aiming for. We are aiming for to make money, not to have the hugest gains in the market, okay? These are most likely people. I saw people making 1.5 million with some tokens, and at the end of the bear market, they lost just everything. Because you will see another project every other day, and you will make the mistake once. Wow, bro, I really need Thailand too. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for the right time. I really prefer to go to Thailand. Yeah, actually, it's the right time. Last time I went on the 26th of December until March. And since then, I wasn't going back. But I believe latest end this year, I will go for a few months. With also other people that I know that will be able to have some free time then to go. And where will you go? Where will you go in Thailand? Do you go to Bangkok, Pattaya, Koh Samui, Phuket? Where are you going? On the islands? Are you going to Chiang Mai? I have one of my mentors lives in near Chiang Mai. Um, his name is Sean Lee. He was one of the founders of AstroFX in London, and he's just a trading goat. He's just crazy. And yeah, I'm also looking forward to go to Chiang Mai to be. I'm gonna buy in the next few months. I'm gonna buy his VIP course. It costs some money, but that way I can maybe connect with him in Chiang Mai when I go to Thailand. In 2 months, you're going to Thailand. Yeah, you will be there in the hot summer, and I heard that the best time to go is from December to March. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. Starting in Bangkok, then I will go where the wind takes me. So, do you have an idea of where you could go? Because do you, let's say, why are you going to Thailand? To eat good food, to live a good life, to make party, to fuck bitches? Why are you going to Thailand? Yeah, man. Thanks, Felton, for coming onto the stream. I really liked also interacting with you. Thanks for the sub, and we will surely hear us on the next one. And if you have some questions, I also have my Twitter link below. You can just say that you are M Felton, and then we can communicate on Twitter if you want. I'm going there to check on my condo. Okay, I see. Nice. Phuket is great. Phuket is great. I was just there a few. First of all, I was 5 days in Bangkok. Then I flew to Koh Samui and we had our house or villa there. And then I was going for 3 days to Koh Phangan because I heard it's the craziest place to make party. Then after 2 times, the day we were going there was a full moon party. And yeah, that was enough for me already. So I didn't go. I was going back once, but it was more to go into the mountains and to smoke a little doobie. And yeah, then we were going to Koh Tao for a few days, and then back to Koh Samui, and then back to Bangkok to come back to Europe. Yeah, apparently it is very, very hot during, or let's say during their summer, which starts, I believe, in March or April, I believe. I don't know exactly, but this is what I heard, and that's why we were there from December to March, and I really felt like the heat going up from during January, February. Man, and this also was my longest flight when I were flying to Thailand, and we took business class, and that was so an amazing experience for such a long flight. Because I mean, business or something for 2-3 hours is one thing, but for 17 hours, I can tell you, the food, everything. We just ate and drink so much and slept. It was amazing. April is the hottest month. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Yes. So when you have your condo there, we're gonna make trading parties, and we're gonna have people coming there, and we show them how to trade. That's a good idea, no? Mm. Because in the next let's say 3 to 4 years, I am creating also courses, and I want to take this as far as possible. So I have big visions, bigger than myself. So one of my goals is to start some seminars in Thailand where I have people that already have some money to come there, and that we create that community even closer, that we show people how to trade, and showing them the difference between trading in where they come from and trading in a totally different environment with great food and having the same people around you. So that's great. Love it. Let's do it. So is there someone yeah, I got asked for the Ethereum BTC chart. I will cover this too, because often I take what I talk about in my life, I cut the video, and then I upload it in a shorter version, because people don't like to watch a live stream for like 1.5 hours. So I always I re-listen my live, and if I see some important parts, I cut them out, I put them together, and then I re-upload them. And I had my video when I talked about XRP, it got 600 views in like, what was it? 5-6 days, and I have like 690 followers. So almost as much views as I have subs. And that was great. On my lives, it's hard to get a lot of views, so I don't do this to really get further with my audience. It's just more like for the people that are already subscribed to interact and to also see that I cannot just cut videos, but that I can answer questions in real time, you know, that I'm not the type of guy that needs to make research to answer a question, you know. I mean, I'm not perfect, obviously. I'm trying my best. And yeah. What I see for the Ethereum BTC chart is a little bit different than for the XRP BTC chart. Obviously, what we did is just a sweep of these lows for now. So we need to watch the dominance of Bitcoin. And let's say Ethereum would go into a rally. Once we break the high here, or even this high here, once we break that high, the chance is big that we're gonna see the altcoins really flourish, and maybe Bitcoin will not move that much as the rest of the space. But before you can be sure, we would really need to see some action coming from this box here, breaking back above this, let's say, trend line here. But as long as we don't really break this, what is it? 6.1 cents. I would not really say like it's time, it's gonna happen now. But once we break this high here, we could see a big rally coming. For now, I mean, look how long we are in this sideways action. We didn't even broke the lows yet. So when was this? Yeah, May to okay, so this was the top of the bull run, and this was June. Wait, I need to check. Yeah, this was the bottom. I was not sure. So this was the bottom of the bear market. Then it had a great push, and then it just, against Bitcoin, just, didn't have that great of a performance. And you can also see it in the chart, like Bitcoin swept these highs on its chart. So Bitcoin, this is, let's say I take the two charts so it's more clear. Come on, man. So weekly and daily. Take that all away. So here a lot of times I talked about this imbalance and that liquidity sweep and that imbalance. So now you can see that this high already was swept, and in this case this is the same high than here. As you can see with my crosshair, you can see that it's the same high during the same time. So, and this is also what you see on the Ethereum BTC chart. So this move here, let's say we still have a 50 to 60% move in Ethereum to make to be at the same level price-wise as Bitcoin is. And that push here could bring, let's say, the Ethereum BTC chart to break these highs here. And if that happens, we're gonna have a rally. To be honest, it looks better than the XRP BTC chart. on the short term. But on the long term, it shows that, look, we had the first run, the high, and then from that point on, we never reached that high again. And we have the same actually in XRP BTC. And it really never came back to that price. When it comes to, look, we had the same here. We had that pump. Yeah, look, the same pump, same time, top. Then we had the correction, and then we had the last spike. So we did exactly the same back then. Just that this bull run, or last bull run, you can clearly see that Ethereum performed better against Bitcoin than XRP did. Obviously, we also can see that in the charts without looking at the BTC XRP chart. So for XRP, I always tell people, once we see a break of these highs here, we are ready for the pump. Or it will most likely already be at, I don't know, $1, $2. So don't wait for it to happen, but anticipate it and prepare for it. Will XRP reclaim these levels here again? I don't really know, because if Bitcoin is now going to 300k, that would mean that here XRP would be 5,000. The 5,000. I don't know how to say it in English. Yeah, so XRP would need to make, let's say, a 5,000x to break that highs here. What do I talk? Wait. Yeah, so it would need to make a 20x on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin, let's say, goes to 150k, 200k, it would really need to 20x the performance of Bitcoin to reach that high again. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It depends on what will happen, you know. Would I take this as an idea or as a confirmation to invest? I don't really know. I would much rather look at this like you have a high, you have a low, you have this range. So the lower you buy in this range, obviously the better your price will be. The better your entry will be. Because we always price these cryptos in dollar amounts. We compare it to the dollar price, but we often do not compare it to, let's say, the Bitcoin price. And this is actually the real performance something is doing. So here you can see it outperformed Bitcoin like crazy. But last bull run, it didn't. So maybe it is this bull run where it's going to outperform Bitcoin. Let's see. I don't really see the narrative and momentum as it had last bull run yet. I don't know. Every day can change, but for now, I don't see people as enthusiastic on Ethereum as last bull run. This is my opinion. I surely never understood why Ethereum is that main coin of a lot of people just because of that smart contracts. But I mean, the chain was working. A lot of people were developing on it. And this is why it also had the narrative and momentum, because not the developers don't want to create their life work on a chain that is not going to perform, let's say it that way. So yeah, maybe you need to watch where the developers go to see what the narrative will be. I don't know. I am back just quickly, Lord. Okay, 1 sec. I am back just quickly. Before I leave, I don't want to chat while I'm driving, but what do you think about Gala token? Yeah, I mean, I really liked the project last bull run. I made quite good money on it. Some say, unfortunately, it is going down that much. I am not up to date with the project, but what they do is amazing. It's not just, let's say, as decentral or let's say a sandbox or something. It's not a game. It's a gaming developer platform. So you can go on Gala and as a developer and create your games on it. With the hype, I don't know, but just knowing that, just looking at price action, obviously it is one of the best investments you can do right now, because all these other coins already did that pump. Like, look, for example, just from here to back to this resistance here we created when we broke down below and then dumped. Just from where we are now, or let's say you catch it here at the bottom, from where we are now to this price here is already 350%. So what happens after that is just great, but you don't really need the pump to, let's say, all-time highs. But if it happens and you are in now, let's say you buy now, you have a 39x until all-time highs. So I don't really know what your question is. Is it a great entry? Obviously, the moment, look, how often could you buy at these prices here? You could buy here, you could buy here, you could buy here, you could buy here, and then that was it, you know? So you could only buy Gala at these prices during the bottom phase. So obviously it is a great price to buy. Does that mean that it cannot go back down to 1.5 cents? Of course it can. If Bitcoin crashes tomorrow, this token will also go down. So it's more a question of how much do you temporarily want to risk in case it pumps now. So if it pumps now, and let's say hypothetically you have $1,000, okay? And you say, if I put in now my $1,000 and it goes down to, let's say, at this price, I lose $300, $400, and I don't want this. So how can you prevent this and still be in is, for example, putting in $250 here, putting in $250 here in the liquidity zone, putting in $250 here, and when you see the reaction coming, then putting the last $250 in here before we pump and break it. So putting in everything now that you have would be a very bad idea, obviously, even if it's a great buying point. So always dollar cost average, always try to wait for a great price zone and then dollar cost average. Never go all in once, in one buy, you know. Yeah, it is. I can go a little bit, I will see if there are any things that have not been. Okay, so we have a clear trend line here. Okay, so once we break that trend line, which looks like it can be now, I would still wait to be sure. You need a break of structure anyway. So if you go in now, you have a great price, but don't put in everything. So you are not sure if it's going to go further down or if it's going to pump now. So you put in something, let's say a fourth of what you want to invest in it. If you want to invest $100, you put in now 25, you wait for the break of highs to reaccumulate more, to put in again $250. For example, normally it will not just push straight to the upside, so it will break some highs and then it will consolidate and then it will go further. So once you have the break of structure, you wait for the retest, and this is where you put in your next $250. Or you say, okay, Bitcoin is pumping, everything is pumping, I put in the rest here, you know? but at least you have this break of structure and you have a clear trend reversal. For now, you are still in a downtrend. So the prices are great, but there is no direct confirmation that we're going to break out now. We are just at the verge of a breakout, but does not mean it's gonna be how you think it's gonna be. It also can just pump and then dump back down. So you really need to wait for the confirmation. But I would say the price we are right now, you can put some checkers in, yes. I hope that helped you. Because let's say it pumps straight up. At least you have a fourth of what you wanted to invest in it, you know? And then you can, for example, take some profits and reaccumulate when it comes a little bit down, you know? So the idea is when you go here all in and it drops 50%, you are fucked, you know? You don't have maybe you don't have liquidity on the side to go in again and again, you know? So if you say this is all I have left for this project that I want to invest in Gala, maybe put a little bit in here, wait for the break, retest, put in a little bit more. If you don't get your break and you come back down, don't sell, reinvest, reaccumulate back in these zones down below here. On the other side, we are suppressed for such a long time in Gala, we can just rip to the upside. But now I can see here, well, it's not beautiful actually, but we have like an inverse head and shoulders. You have the first shoulder, you have the head, you have the break of structure. So it's looking beautiful, you know. But yeah, don't overinvest. Look, we have here, let's say, the most probable buying zone will be between 2.1 cents and 1.8 cents. The rest, if it goes further down, is to capitulate, to take some liquidity. But yeah, now we are on the 50 level. So now we are rebalanced. So the pump we did from the lows to the highs is now rebalanced, because we hit the 50. So this is the 50% correction of the whole up move. Now it's recalibrated. So now, does it want to take this liquidity out here before it's going up? Nobody knows, you know. We have liquidity laying there. So we could as well just fake the break, take that liquidity, and then go up. And in this case, if you don't overexpose yourself at this price, you can basically buy, let's say, 15 to 20% even cheaper. Do you care about 15%? If no, I mean, then go for it. If you care about 50%, 15 to 20% drawdown, then wait, you know. But it's a great price to buy. That's for sure. And the great thing is we maybe didn't break this trend line yet, but we broke structure. And that was the most important thing, because yeah, this was basically the last time the market tried to reject before we broke the local lows here. And then we pumped back up, and here we got the break of structure, but we had the long-term trend line that was holding us down. But overall, you have dump, you have bottom, liquidity sweep, break of structure, and now you are trying to reaccumulate. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah, I mean, imagine I would have now 1,000 viewers, or let's say I would have 3,000 people in the live, or even 500 that are all writing in the chat. It's very hard for them to read specific questions from their audience, because there are too many people, you know. But here now it's chill for me. They are three, four people in the chat asking some questions. So now is really the time where you can use me as a tool. When I have a lot of followers, I will not be able to catch every single message, you know. And I would say if there are no other questions left, I will stop the live in the next few minutes. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone that was coming on the live. I believe today was the live with the most views that I had since I restarted the channel. We had over 40 people in the live. At the peak, we had 9 people together on the live, which is okay, you know. Small steps forward to greatness. Thank you, Limitless. Hit the like. It costs you nothing and it helps me out to reach more people. I don't know. Yeah, have a nice day or nice evening. I don't know what the time is at your place. Thanks for coming. See you on the next one. And Limitless, thank you for being here. Thank you, man. We need more people like you, Limitless. We need more people like you in here. But who knows? You are for now the guy that is always on my lives. The day I create the Discord, I said I would create a Discord with technical channels, live session channels, and everything combined in a Discord. And maybe you are interested to be a part of that, you know? Great. That makes me happy, man. Oh, really? And maybe if I can ask that, what do I have what the other don't? Like, what do I do differently? I know that a lot of channels, they don't know what they talk about and they just read the news, you know? Oh, we have new news, look Coindesk, and then they read the news and then they give their opinion about it. But yeah. No, I'm not building the Discord yet. But I mean, once I will start it, for sure, you could be part of it, man. I said to people, once I reach 1,000 followers, I will create a Discord. And because I don't want to, let's say, for the few people that are active here, maybe I should do it. What do you think? Do you think I should do a Discord already? Or do you think I should wait for a little bit more momentum? Because if there is no momentum, the Discord is gonna die, I believe. Yeah, that's true, man. I have a few channels like Crypto Banter that I like to watch because I can see the narratives in their streams because they create the narrative, you know, they use their audiences to shield their projects. So this is why I like sometimes to watch their videos, but yeah. Yeah, me too, me too. There is a lot of time, man. I don't know how old are you? I'm 28, man. I have plenty of time in this space, and this space, yeah, I will do this my whole life if I can, as long as I can, you know. I just love it. I love the candles. I love price action. I love the charts even more than the crypto space, you know. Oh, okay. You can give me some great advice too then. That's great, man. That's cool to hear. That someone that is older than me appreciating what I know and how I see things. That's great. I mean, the English will improve over time. Yeah, yeah, it's just great. I don't know if I love it to death or I'm just addicted, But since years I could do this every day, all day. It's just crazy. For now, I am personally into challenges, so I'm day trading too, and I'm currently in funding account challenges at FTMO and another company. Oh, thank you. That's great. Yeah, I'm a little bit different, or let's say I'm totally different than most people, and that's also why people love me or they really hate me. So, but I will always stay how I am and attract the people that are like me, and the others can go wherever they come from. Yeah, thank you. I had like in December, November and December, I had a losing streak. Man, I was like, I'm not coming out of this. And but I have a consistency score of over 94 on their platform. So the statistics are almost the best they can be. Just I had this losing streak and I was feeling like shit because I almost got my goal achieved of the challenge. And then from that point on, I slowly degraded back down and I just could not find a great setup. And when I had a great setup, I just got stopped out during some kind of stupid liquidation grab, which was not even realistic. And I was like so pissed off. And then I said, okay, I'm just gonna go away for a week. And then now, since January, I am up like 1.8% overall on January. And now for February, I didn't. Wait, I'm gonna check. I think. Yeah, February, I didn't really. I had a trade that where almost hit target and then it flushed down and stopped out break even. So for February, I'm still break even. January was 1.8%, but also knowing that I use like 0.5% risk per trade. Yo, brother, how are you? This is one of my best friends, Kai Weiland. Great human being, same energy. Yeah, I had quite some people in the live today, and also people that interacted. That's great. How are the setups going? Didn't put a trade today. I was waiting 6 hours or 7 hours for an entry, and I was like, nah, just forget it. And then let me check. Where is it now? Hmm. Yeah, actually, look, I had my entry here this morning when we were here, so I can explain quickly the breakdown. So overall, the minority was long. So this was a liquidity sweep to the downside and then break of structure. And I was like, okay, but we have this big imbalance down below here, which needs to be filled before we can surely see an upside without a crash afterwards. So I was like, okay, where is here the most liquidity? This liquidity was already taken out But as you see here, this was London Open. This high was London Open. This was Asia low. So Asia low, London Open, London liquidated or swept the Asia lows. Then we came back up, we came back down, and then we swept again the London lows. And then we had a breakout structure. And then I was like, okay, I had three choices. I had this imbalance here, which in the beginning looked quite good. But then I was like, okay, but in a higher time frame, there is a lot of liquidity laying here on the upside. So the idea was it could take... Yeah. It could take out these three highs here. This one, come on, this one, this one, this one, and this one, before filling the imbalance, because it was a 30-minute or 5-minute, 30-minute and 5-minute imbalance. So the idea was basically to take the open of the 5-minute imbalance and the 50% of the 30-minute imbalance. Why? We took all that liquidity to the downside and to the upside, and that would be a great imbalance to recalibrate the price. But what happened? It just swept into it here. And I was like, okay, it's gonna go higher and go to my entry, and it never did. And from that point, it had a rollover. What did I do then? Unfortunately, I didn't took the trade, but it was a beautiful trade. Then we came down. Boom. Oh shit. And my idea was the moment we had, where was it? Here on the MACD. When you have a cross on the 3-minute, a cross in the 3-minute plus a break of structure to the downside, and not yet a cross in the 5-minute, gives you a short entry. So what did I do? I took the last imbalance available, which was this one, and I put the entry at the top of the imbalance, putting the stop over the highs. So in case I got stopped out, I would have be triggered in this one, okay? So this would be a low risk trade because it's a scalp. And this is a one of two trades. So the stop was a little bit lower. It was at the high, I believe. Yeah, let's say like that. I don't know exactly how it was. And then it hit my target exactly. So this was, I believe, a 1-minute trade. Yeah, it was a 1-minute trade here, that imbalance. And it worked out. And since then, basically, it did nothing. The whole fucking day. Okay? Boom, break of structure. Boom, break of structure. You don't want to be in that moves. Look, break of structure to the downside, break of structure to the upside, break of structure to the downside. This is total crap. And I'm happy that I didn't follow that I stopped looking at it. Gold is doing complete bullshit. It's just... Look, since this morning the market crashed. If you are a guy, oh, it's dumping, I'm gonna go short, you made money in this day. But normally people like that don't make money. Maybe today they make money, but usually they don't. How are you? I'm doing great, man. I had a great stream. People interacting. And that's what I wanted. So I'm gonna go eat now. I appreciate everyone that is still on the live. I will try to find some interesting moments from the live stream and maybe break it down in a smaller, let's say 5 to 15 minute video. And then, yeah, let's see what content I can do for the next days and so on. Bro, and that a lot, you know, I see trades everywhere. the thing is being so patient to just trade the same setup over and over again, you know? And sometimes it takes just hours, and yeah, and you are frustrated, and then you force something, and this is why you lose money after, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Thanks for being here. See you on the next one, guys. I love you. Bye.